So I'm going to teach you exactly how you should train alone. It's one of the most common questions I get. Okay, Taylor, as a footballer, how should I train alone if I don't have someone to play with, if I don't have teammates, if I don't have a league to go play at outside of my team training? Now, half the time that question is cope, because you do have somewhere to go, but you're nervous, you're insecure, you don't want to put in the extra effort to find a league or an indoor place, a futsal league, some kind of place where they're playing pickup at a park or something. Because I guarantee most of you guys that ask me this question, there is somewhere that you can go. There is some kind of league you can join. Maybe it's older adults, maybe it's people that you normally wouldn't talk to. But look, just make the effort and resource it. Be resourceful. The other half of that is where you truly don't have anywhere else to play. There's no actual leagues, there's no nothing. If that's the case, football might not be a good sport for you, because football is a team sport. So you need to have people to play against. If you live out on a farm, 100 miles away from a big town where there's leagues and there's games, that's a bit tough. How to train alone becomes an important topic of conversation when you have, let's say, one game on the weekend, you have 4 or 3, maybe 2 team trainings during the week, you have 1 or 2 days of pickup or small-sided, and then you have a window of 1 day a week or 1 day a week plus a few minutes each day that you can do some stuff on your own. And that's where this video comes into play, because the way that I talk about it, doing drills, any kind of individual training, is not where you learn football. It's not where you learn the game. It's not where you learn your craft. Now, the metaphor that I'm going to use is very similar to that of a swordsman, of a warrior. Training on your own is where you sharpen your sword. You sharpen your hammer. It's where you improve the capabilities of the skill that you already have. But it's not where you build your skill. It's not where you learn how to use a sword. So understand that metaphor. Training on your own is like sharpening a sword. Playing football is learning to use the sword. Too many footballers, all they do is they sharpen their sword, but they don't know how to use it because they haven't played enough pickup. They haven't played enough actual matches against grown men. That's where you learn and grow into a footballer. So growing up, I was lucky to have my father actually would always take me to train on the evenings of the week that I didn't have team practice. So maybe it's a Monday night, maybe it's a Thursday night, something like that. Or on Friday night, let's say I have team training on Tuesday and Thursday, games on Saturday. I would go up and train on my own on like Monday and Friday. So in my town, there was a big field on the top of the hill, overlooking the coast. Amazing view, to be honest. The grass wasn't very good. Most people just used it to walk their dog or something. But the funny thing is that this was before Instagram. It was before social media, in a way where you had tons of people talking about do this, do that. Like maybe on YouTube there were a few, ball mastery coaches, but they were before this current time of advice, right? It was kind of like old-fashioned soccer videos. But they're still doing ball mastery stuff, but that wasn't really in my world, on my radar. I just followed the advice of my coaches or whoever. And so it was funny because I didn't really know about, these coaches and ball mastery. I wasn't really, following some program I bought from some dude online. It was just my dad kicking the ball at me really hard in the air or on the ground, bouncing. I would have to control the ball, and then I would just trap it, do some moves, and shoot. It wasn't very complicated, but actually it echoes a lot of what I talk about now with the maximal intent principle and in my course, Self-Made Talent. And the funny thing enough is that when you understand that trapping a football, dribbling past opponents, and shooting and scoring is actually the most valuable skill in football. Those combination of actions is the most valuable skill in football. Why? How can I so confidently say that? Well, it's because wingers and strikers are the most highly valued players, more than defenders, goalkeepers, and the midfielders. The players that can trap a ball, go past opponents, and score are the most valuable players on the football pitch. So I recommend it to you that you should train that skill. It's very important. So my dad and I would probably do this until it gets dark. I would check any shots that I missed, which of course kind of was good because it would add some low intensity jogging in between the high intensity dribbling and shooting. And again, it's that theme of highs and lows that I always talk about, which is so important for a footballer and any athlete, honestly, to work at their end capacities and not get stuck in this middle ground. And now I think back even more. I remember that my dad would make me play tennis before we would go up and play football most of the times that we were there. Now, growing up, I was a tennis player. My family, everyone played tennis. It was my job to play tennis. I ended up not falling in love with it as much as I did as football, but that cross training, and I think the combination of the two was one of the big things that helped me become such a good defender because of the lateral movements. I was always the fastest guy going left and right, not so much going forward and back, but going sideways. I was the best, and that is very helpful as a defender to make tackles and intercept passes. So the bottom line here, guys, is that simple football training with a ball and a goal is really all you need to sharpen your skills. This is one of the main topics of my course, Self-Made Talent, that we will actually be re-releasing at the end of this month. And so again, why do I say sharpen as opposed to improve your football ability? Is because this training on your own, the maximal intent principle, the shadow boxing, the thinking, the creative juices that flow from you, that is the skill that we're trying to sharpen in our individual training. But where you put it to action is in the game of football against live opponents, and you cannot create that anywhere else except by doing it. Simple as that. And on top of everything that we've covered so far, I will add in as a side note that cross training is a cheat code to improve your athleticism. So tennis, ping pong, basketball, whatever you want, just try and do it a few times a week, 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't require that much effort or impact on your body if you just go and shoot some basketball hoops. That coordination of the hands with the eyes is very helpful for your foot-eye coordination, which is why many of my clients do hand juggling before they go and play football, and their sharpness and their touch instantly improves about 15 to 20%. So I recommend that you do this simple training, solo training with the maximal intent principle and cross training about once or twice a week, depending on your schedule. And guys, that's about it. Training on your own does not have to be this crazy, complicated program of 15 different exercises and different ball drills and cone drills and trying to think you're smarter than the game. I want you to simply have a ball and unleash your creativity, your own unique genius that you have hiding inside of you, and let it guide you, as opposed to being a robot and memorizing tricks like you're a dog in a show. All right? You're not a dog in a show. You're a human being with the power of the infinite intelligence, which is at your fingertips if you allow it. So use this video, go to the field. At the end of the month, we will be relaunching Self-Made Talent, my course on all of this world of individual football training and how to maximize your flow state. If you're interested in that, comment down below. Make sure you're on my email list. Get signed up to my newsletter, and I will see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All the best.